Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
We're still facing a very dark winter.
President Biden's administration signaling that it may not drastically change from President Trump's approach to China. Let's get to Eunice Yoon in Beijing for a look at how China is viewing this new administration. And Eunice, obviously very early days, barely even days at this point. But what are these signals kind of meaning there on the ground?
Well, I thought it was interesting because China, just in the past couple of days, has really been taking on one of the buzzwords from Biden's inauguration, and that is unity. So China said that unity is needed for a reset in U.S.-China ties. The Foreign Ministry has also said that China welcomes the U.S. Rejoining the WHO and the Paris Climate Accords under the Biden administration. And then today, the headlines in the state press have all been mimicking this call for a reset. For example, Xinhua, the news agency, said it's time to heal and recover China and U.S. ties. The China Daily said that we have unity of purpose to set ties back on track. And the Global Times, which is a Communist Party paper, very hawkish normally, said China can partner on the virus fight, climate, as well as growth.
So I'm just wondering, when we ordered this $5 million worth of plexiglass, did we have a classroom of 28 desks set up to where school board members could sit in them and see what this was really going to be like? Because I'm still trying to figure out how, in between my classes, am I supposed to disinfect? How I'm supposed to hear my students when they're in the back of the room wearing a mask behind all this plexiglass.
White privilege, unfortunately, the covers are going to start to come off of you because you're going to realize, damn, I'm in the same boat as the poor blacks. I'm in the same boat as, wait a minute, what's going on? And then it's going to hit you. Then it's going to hit you hard that you're not exempt from getting eaten too, that somebody is trying to kill you as well. And they are. They're not trying, they are. And then it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. That goddamn, you had such a good life. You had such a good life in this country for a very long time. There was a privilege that you had that nobody else could fathom. And now your own people have flipped on you. Your own government has flipped on you. The government for the people, by the people. You know, the ones that we were excluded from. But you were all included. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Now, despite the official call for a reset, suspicions run very, very deep. And it's been noted not only by officials, but also in social media that Biden's cabinet choices have been very aggressive in their comments about China. For example, the DNIs, or the Director of National Intelligence, Avril Haines, had said that she favors an aggressive stance on China. The incoming Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, said that she would use all tools against China's alleged abusive trade practices. And then Secretary of State choice Antony Blinken had also said that he agreed with the assessment of his predecessor that China was committing genocide on its Muslim minority, the Uyghurs.
Now, I've been talking about some event that these people are going to have planned for us. I just didn't know what they were going to do. But based on one of Biden's executive orders, it was made clear to me.
So, looks like the Biden administration is coming up with a new bill. And it's a bill that would require us all to have a vaccination and proof of vaccination in order to fly domestically, or in order to ride in or drive a car. So basically what you're telling me is Biden is coming up with a bill that would make it illegal to leave your home unless you've been vaccinated. This is the same political party that's all about pro-choice. My body, my choice. What happened to my body and my choice when it came to your bullshit vaccine? rest of America that doesn't want your fucking shit in our bodies. Just saying.
Again, when they felt cloaked in that white skin privilege, I mean, I feel her pain. That's life-saving medicine. And under Trump, it was $61 for their family. And now under Biden, it's $500 for their family. I gotta, I hate to say it. But I mean, when you're wrapped in that cloak of white skin privilege, when you're blanketed in that white skin privilege, and then all of a sudden the shit goes the other way, it goes south, and your own people start to eat you. Now you want to go back and start playing Dr. King videos where he was talking about poor whites and poor blacks coming together. Now all of a sudden you want to go back and start playing Fred Hampton videos where he was talking black power, white power, brown power, red power, and yellow power. Now you want to tap in on the revolutionary side because you're starting to get eaten.
Now, the game that Joe Biden is playing with you all is he's overturning everything that Trump did. But you're assuming it's bad because Trump did it, not realizing that everything that Trump did couldn't have been bad because America is still standing. Now, although it may be standing on one leg, it's still standing. And prior to the Peter pandemic, the economy was rolling. So
I tried to tell you, I tried to prepare you that your white skin privilege is going to get you fucked off because at the end of the day, they're setting you up for the slaughter. I tried to tell you that these were tests, that when they were killing us, they were actually testing your temperature too to see how you would respond and how you felt about it. And then when they saw your response, they said, yes, we're still winning. They haven't united. They still don't have any sympathy for the blacks.
Nothing to report at this point in time, but we're committed to, the president is committed to stopping China's economic abuses on many fronts. And the most effective way to do that is through working in concert with our allies and partners to do exactly that.
So you must ask yourself, why would Joe Biden leave our power grid defenseless for 90 days? It doesn't make any sense. And many of you all have been watching this impeachment trial, not paying attention to what's being done behind the scenes.
Why do you keep calling this the Chinese virus? There are reports of dozens of incidents of bias against Chinese Americans in this country. Your own aide, Secretary Azar, says he does not use this term. He says ethnicity does not cause the virus. Why do you keep using this? A lot of people say it's racist.
It's not racist at all. No, not at all. It comes from China. That's right. It comes from China. I want to be accurate. Yeah, please, John. Please.
Are you
I have great love for all of the people from our country. But as you know, China tried to say at one point, maybe they stopped now, that it was caused by American soldiers. That can't happen. It's not going to happen. Not as long as I'm president. It comes from China.
This impeachment trial is a distraction, but I digress. We have bigger fish to fry. If the power grid is defenseless, what's to stop a country from deploying an EMP? And an EMP would totally wipe out America's power. Now, I want you all to envision America if all the power goes out. And then ask yourself, who's going to cut it back on? Do you honestly trust Joe Biden to get the job done? The same person that said he had a plan for this Peter pandemic, all he's done is follow Trump's plan?
China is going to eat our lunch? Come on, man. They can't even figure out how to deal with the fact that they have this great division between the China Sea and the mountains in the east, in the west. They can't figure out how they're going to deal with the corruption that exists within the system. They're not bad folks.
2 hours later.
I was on the phone for 2 straight hours with Xi Jinping. Good conversation. I know him well. We spent a lot of time together over the years I was vice president. And they're gonna. If we don't get moving, they're gonna eat our lunch.
Now, don't get me wrong. Joe Biden is our president, and he is to be respected. However, he must be held accountable. And I don't support the nation being defenseless from an attack.
That shit's happening right now. Not going to happen. It's happening right now. It's unfortunate. All I can say is it's time for everybody to hold their own nuts. Yeah. So with that said, peace, prosperity, salutations. Yeah.
Look at the blue check mark next to the Twitter username of the account retweeted by the president. It indicates that this is a verified account, given the blue check by Twitter to indicate it is run by a public figure. The problem? The user's real account is not verified and has no blue check mark, as you can see. Were you trying to make her account seem more significant, or were you just sloppy? If we had due process of law in this case, we would know the truth. The tweeter promised to bring the Calvary, a public display of Christ's crucifixion, a central symbol of her Christian faith, with her to the president's speech, a symbol of faith, love, and peace. They just never want to seem to read the text and believe what the text means. And you'll see this reported in the media last evening also. Words matter, they told you, but they selectively edited the president's words over and over.